The Houston Texans did a lot this offseason, but really the headliner of the group was Danielle Hunter, and he is really already doing things in OTAs and just kind of what the coaches are talking about, the things that he's up to. It's like, man, you got to be excited if you're a Houston Texans fan. If you're new to the channel, we're Detroit Lions fans, but we have this channel all about teams we like covering, and we kind of settled on the Houston Texans. We also talk about the Cleveland Browns a little bit, just because they're similar to the Lions, where it's like, they just don't get the love, but they're up and coming. They're good. And it's like, let's go. So the Houston Texans, here's what your defensive coordinator had to say. And I thought this was pretty interesting as you look and watch games this year. It's like, oh, you know what? That kind of makes sense. Having a elite pass rusher changes protections and how you do things. And that just sort of unlocks other parts of the rush. When we're looking to attack protections, the biggest thing is just how predictable you can get the protection. If you know what the other team is going to do, and you have a sense of the percentage are pretty high that they're going to do it this way, then you have an answer for that. And so what he's saying is, we know that opposing teams have to block Danielle Hunter, and they can't do it straight up. So that means if a running back's over that side, or if you've got a tight end on that same side, you're going to get a chip. You're going to get some things. You're going to get some help, slide. You just know generally what's going to happen a little bit more because you've got a main player there. So Danielle Hunter described his pass rush as his top attribute, and described, and the description coincides with Ryan's defensive swarm mentality. Since his rookie season out of LSU in 2015, Hunter has 87 sacks. During his final season with the Vikings, he had 16 and a half, 80 pressures, and 55 hurries. So 80 pressures is the number. Sacks is always just kind of the headliner, but pressures is so important. And Dan Campbell of the Detroit Lions described that is the most important stat that he looks for in the defensive linemen, defensive ends especially, is pressures, not necessarily sacks. So Danielle Hunter is the full package. You get him on a 2-year deal. It's not a long-term thing. He is getting older, but you're going to get a really good player, and coaches are just loving it. So, because remember, we go back up here, D'Amico Ryans was thankful for the success he experienced in the first year. But after that AFC divisional round loss to the Ravens, Houston spent most of the time revamping its defensive line. And so that is where I think D'Amico Ryans just being around, being on the defensive side, being with the Niners is like, look, you got to be good on the defensive line, and we're going to be now. And I love seeing that. Another new guy is Joe Mixon, and he had some really good things to say about Dameon Pierce, which again is kind of an interesting because DP's still there. But Mixon comes in, and you've got this good blend, because in today's NFL, you can't have just a one guy running the ball. There's going to be a mix. You keep both guys fresh. You keep both guys healthy. So they're going to both get a lot of carries, and that's perfect. So he says, the thing that I love about Dameon, this is Joe Mixon talking, he keeps me working hard too. I've always had a great work ethic, but the way he works, it's like, okay, I got to keep rolling too. I think it's a great thing for both of us and the other running backs in the room. We all feed off one another. We all bring certain things to the table. He works hard, and I love his work ethic. So again, DP joined as a 4th-round pick in the 2022 draft. He's appeared in 27 games, and he's had kind of an up and down career to this point, which is fine. It's going to go into his third year. So fine. He's going to be fine. And the Texans now have depth at running back. And so both Joe Mixon and Danielle Hunter, being new, love that they have the opportunity to really provide some things that, you just don't know what you're getting when it comes to the free agent side of things. But in the Texans case, it feels like, no, you do know exactly what you're getting. And that's what's kind of exciting, because I say you don't know what you're getting because a lot of times in free agency, you're 28, 29, 30, 31 years old is a free agent player. They deserve to get paid a lot because they've done a lot of really good things. But do you want to be the one to give them that contract as they're getting older? It's like, I don't know. Are they losing it? Is their numbers going down? But both Joe Mixon and Danielle Hunter, solid as can be. They're good players, and they're going to be just fine. So it's like, all right, let's just roll with these guys. Like, I don't see what the problem is let's sign these guys. Let's go. And so if you're a Texans fan, you get Danielle Hunter, Joe Mixon, Stephon Diggs, 3 pros, like right there, pros, insert them into your lineup. Then you got, the Jeff Okudas, and, you're getting some project guys to see what you can do, along with some new rookies. Oh, by the way, you've got CJ Stroud. It just feels like the Texans are in a really good place and should have no problem in the division. I say no problem. I don't mean they win the division. I mean, it's never easy, but at the same time, it's like, come on. Who in that division scares you? I mean, the Jags are a weird team. Indy's trying to figure it out. So it's like, I don't know. So it's going to be interesting if you're a Jags fan. I love it. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you have not subscribed, we'd love if you do that. We're on our way to 20,000 subs on this channel. Also, we love knowing all about, last time I asked this, it was a lot of good response. So we'll see here. Your favorite place to eat. Summertime's here. Favorite place that if someone was coming to visit, you would recommend they go in the Houston area. Shout out your favorite spot. Houston, man, when I asked that last time, everybody was like, dude, do you know what Houston is? Like, we are the food capital of the USA. I didn't know that. And again, there's people that are going to argue that. I get that. But I'm saying your point was Houston, dude, we got everything. We got seafood. We got barbecue. Like, anything that you want down here in Houston, we got it. And so love to see that. Would love to come visit there. I was there once. I've been there once. Solid. Love it. Houston's a great place. You got great weather. For the most part, summers are brutal. I get that. But for the most part, 9 months of the year, you're in pretty good shape. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. Also, do you go to any Texans games? So would love to know that as well. What does that look like? Do you have season tickets? Are you going to go this year? What's the kind of scene around the stadium on game day? I feel like it's going to be there this year, like the Lions as well, right? You start winning and then it just becomes a thing. And another thing is, what I noticed that I love is in today's sports attendance is everybody's wearing apparel. Remember, like in the 90s, you wore like this. You just wear this to a Boston Celtics game. You just wore like your normal clothes. You just went to games. Now it's like you got jerseys, you got everything on. I love that. That's how it should be. And if you don't have a jersey on or something, you stand out. Like, what's up with that? That's weird. You got to have the merch. Merch is the thing now. So I love it. So let me know your thoughts in the comments on this one, and we will see all of you on the next one.